What's up? It's Brian again with another video. Of course, lovely weather, perfect weather to work on the bike. Of course, little side note, turbo project will be put on hold until the winter seasons because it is way too well. This doesn't help, but usually it's nice and bright and sunny outside, so I want to ride the bike. Don't want it to be out of commission for too long. But today we're going to be working on making that sprocket a little smaller. Of course, we did start with the stock sprocket. It's actually a 46 tooth. So we have that 46 tooth. I upgraded it to a 42, which is actually this one here on Amazon if you want to get it. And I am going to be changing it to this 35. So of course, I have my 35 sprocket here. Just came in the mail. Of course, I know that going, especially from the stock 46, going down 11 teeth, I will be losing a lot of torque. But I think the sacrifice for a higher, more comfortable cruising speed, I think will be worth it. And if it's not, of course, I can always go back. I already have the bike on my little stand, so I'm gonna go ahead, get this big bolt out, take off these alignments, and we should be golden. Of course, you want to go ahead and grab your 8, or this is a 19, the other side is actually a 17, so there is a slight difference between the sizes. But of course, let's pop that puppy loose. Whoop. Got that loose now. I'm going to just kind of knock it the other way just so it kind of gives it more play. And I'm going to go ahead and back out these a little bit. And of course this one has a double, so I just need to go ahead and take this one off too. So after you get this whole axle bolt out, grab yourself a 14 and you will have to actually loosen up. Oh, is this not? This is a 13. Here's my 14. Grab yourself your 14 and you'll actually, of course, have to loosen these bolts. Probably should have done it while the bike's on the ground. But after you loosen those bolts, I already got part of that little retaining clip in there. I already got part of it off. But of course, you just gotta get it off of there so you can get that rotor to actually, or not rotor, the sprocket to actually come off. So after you got all 4 of those little bolts off and that retaining clip off, I do recommend getting yourself one of these lovely things. Definitely make it a lot easier, because of course this little clip, and you just go ahead and wiggle off. Well, easier said than done, but go ahead and get off that. And I'm gonna actually set this over here, but as you see, these aren't really bolts, they're just kind of studs. So just go ahead and leave those in there, and we'll grab that new sprocket and we'll just pop it on. And of course, just do everything in reverse. This job literally will take maybe 10-15 minutes. You see here, this is a good comparison. This is a stock one. This is the middle one that I bought, the 42. And here we go with our 35. I'm really excited for this. Of course, I'm looking forward to actually seeing what the new top speed will be. As you can see, it kind of fits kind of snug. I'll have to kind of pop that puppy in there, and once that thing is in there, of course, you put that retaining clip back in. And after you put that retaining clip in, go ahead and, that's not good, but I guess this whole piece just fell out on that other side. I better get that off the ground since I have nice dirty ground. Not quite sure which way that goes in. We'll worry about that later. But of course, like I said, just go ahead and get this in here. I'm gonna probably just tap it. Looks like it's in all the way around. I'm gonna pop in that retainer clip, put these bolts back on, and I will check back in with y'all. So I got that retaining clip back in there. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt up these. I'm actually gonna hand snug them, and then when I get the back tire back on the ground attached to the bike, I will go ahead and torque them down a little bit. I'm not sure what the foot-pounds is, but I'm just make them snug like they were before. I'm gonna take some of my grease, which is up there. I'll go ahead and put some all over the place, just kind of like here, just to make sure that everything is nice and lubricated. And of course, I will check right back in once I get everything back assembled. So I got the rear axle bolt back in, and of course, as you can tell, might need to take a few links off of that chain, but that's perfectly fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tighten these, get this situated, kind of feel out how many links I have to take. My little brake is right here, so I'll probably just put it kind of like there, unhook it, see how many links I need to take out, get my handy dandy heavy duty chain breaker, and go ahead and pop off that extra chain. And then once I get that situation situated, I can actually tighten or loosen this to get the right amount of slack in the chain for me to ride. So as you see, I had to take out 2 full links. Right here, where's the brake go? Oh boy, right here's the brake. And of course, like always, just go ahead and get your little clip back in. And once you got your clip back in, I'm gonna go ahead and worry about the tension on the chain, because right now you see it's a little slack, but that's why I moved it kind of far up so that I'm able to loosen it and get the chain nice and snug, just like it needs it to be. As you see, I got everything back together. It rolls nicely. So of course, that's awesome. And as you can see, I can crank the bike. And as you can see, everything works just fine. Put it back in neutral, puppy spins, made sure the rear brake still works, and of course it does. And I already checked the tension on the chain. I think it got a little tighter, so I'll have to adjust that a little bit. But of course, there we go. That's the final piece of doing this install. Of course, I will go ahead and make a video once the weather gets better. And once the weather gets better, of course, we'll be able to do a good comparison about 5th gear. I believe I was right around 6,000 RPMs on that video. I'll stitch it in there at some point in time, and then of course I'll do the final run so we can get a final different top speed at 6,000 RPM, because the road out here is 50, and to sit right around 50 miles an hour, 55-ish, I have to be around 6,000 RPM. And of course, it's a lot of RPMs for a sustained amount of time for a bike. But as always, I will get that clip in there, and we'll see what the actual difference between top speed is from the 42 to the 35. I'm kind of excited. All right, so of course, as you can see, the weather has not gotten much better, but I want to try this out before I go to work tomorrow, because of course I would like to ride the bike to work. So we're just gonna go ahead and hop on it, and we will see how it goes. as you see, it kind of struggles to get up to speed now. I can't really get all the way out on the miles per hour or on the revs. I can't really get all the way 5th gear, but hey, I'm still going faster than I was before. Question is, does it still do a burnout?